Hey guys, in today's video, we wanted to answer the question, what's a Part 61 flight school like? So, we decided to visit one. So we were invited to come down to Fly Eagle Sport at the Glendale, Arizona airport, and we took them up on their offer. They're a local Part 61 flight school that boasts an affordable flying solution, which we'll get to a little bit later. But first, let's talk about what a Part 61 flight school is during this flight montage we recorded when I first arrived. If you've been looking for a flight school to train at, you may have heard of two types, a Part 61 and a Part 141. The main difference being that a Part 141 flight school has their training program approved by the FAA, and a Part 61 flight school doesn't. Don't let that fool you into thinking a Part 141 is automatically better though. Students from both parts take the same exams and practical tests. It's more about how you get there that's different. Part 61 flight schools are generally smaller operations run by a handful of people and instructors. Granted, I've seen some larger ones too with over 20 plus aircraft. The major benefits here are they're a more relaxed environment, have flexible schedules, have customized training, and move at your own pace. Fly Eagle Sport fits right into this model, operating out of some dedicated space at the Glendale Airport Pilot Lounge, giving them exactly what they need to operate, including a conference area, office, training space, and even room for an approved Redbird simulator, which you can use for part of your training. They do have a hangar, but it's more for maintenance and storage. Now, the most commonly used training aircraft is the Cessna 172, and where a lot of Part 61 schools do use them, here they use the Remos GX. Even though it's a light sport aircraft, you can still use them for a majority of your training. They use them because they're a newer aircraft, set up with better avionics, and are more cost-effective to operate. Tyler, the owner of Fly Eagle Sport, took me up on a flight to give me the rundown on them.
That's the other thing about the smaller planes is they catch a bad rep for being, sensitive to the winds and everything, but you really got to learn stick and rudder skill to fly this airplane well.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it makes it a great trainer. All of our aircraft are EFIS, and most of our aircraft are TAA or being converted to TAA as we speak. So, of course, TAA allows us to use these airplanes for all of the training, to include our commercial training and check rides that will not require them to fly a retractable airplane.
At the end of the day, I agreed that the Remos GX was a great little training airplane. It was easy to fly, responsive, and forgiving, similar to the reasons why I like the 172, but it's just not as fast. After the flight, I was able to sit down with Tyler and ask him a few questions about his school. We had a few camera issues, so I had to use the magic of editing to bring this all together. Okay, today we're sitting here with Tyler from Fly Eagle Sport. He's a Part 61 flight school here in Glendale, Arizona. And he's been kind enough to let us come here today and fly his planes. And thanks for inviting us here. And go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your school.
All right, thanks, Carl. Well, welcome. This is our humble facility here in Glendale, Arizona. We are a smaller Part 61 flight school. So it's not as fancy as some of the big boys, but we do that to help keep the costs down, make flying as affordable as possible, and just to enjoy ourselves with a smaller, more personal type environment.
So Tyler, you just mentioned that Part 61 is great because it can really tailor a program to a student. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So the great thing about a Part 61 is we don't have to rigidly follow a syllabus like a Part 141 school would have to.
Okay.
So we have a flexibility to meet the experience level of a new client.
So Tyler, one thing I've noticed at 141 schools, all the instructors, it's different. There's a level of prestige that they have here. Can you tell me about what's different here to 61?
There's a reason why Part 141s, they wear the uniforms and they want to have that mindset. And there is some method behind the madness. But at 61, like us, this is our standard uniform.
More laid back, more relaxed.
Oh yeah. I want my instructors to be comfortable, and they want to have a very positive learning environment. And you can't do that if you're sweating with long pants on. All
right, Tyler, well, thank you for inviting us here again and letting us feature your school here. And again, this is Tyler with Fly Eagle Sport, Glendale, Arizona, and we're just so excited that he let us be here today. Thanks again.
Thank you, Carl. Really appreciate you coming out today, and I had an absolute blast flying with you. If any of your viewers would like to check us out, they can go to www.flyeaglesport.com.
Now let's talk about cost. Typically, Part 61 flight schools are more expensive than learning privately, and less expensive than learning at a Part 141 flight school. And just for fun, let's take a look at Fly Eagle Sport's claim to be an affordable flying solution. We calculated that the average private student should expect to pay around $13,500 for their private pilot license, and Fly Eagle Sport comes in right on that mark, using realistic numbers, so I'm gonna have to give this one to them. Now, not all Part 61 schools are created equal, and they can vary greatly on what certificates, ratings, and training programs they offer, as well as pricing. So if you want to use one, make sure their pricing and services line up with what your goals are. But overall, if what you heard sounds good, you may want to consider one. Alright guys, that's everything we think you need to know about Part 61 flight schools. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and head on over to our channel page and check out some of our other videos. Also, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell while you're there to get notified of other videos that we're doing. As always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.